Hello everyone, this is Nirmal here for Technique, and in this video we're gonna do a detailed camera review of the ASUS Zenfone Live. So the ASUS Zenfone Live was announced last week, and this comes with a Facebook and YouTube live streaming app which produces Beautify mode for the front-facing camera in case you want to live stream from this device. So that's a specialty of the, or rather the USP of this device. It has a front-facing flash and the Beauty Live app, which comes with really good features and options. So we'll come back to that option. So before going into the detailed camera review, so let's have a look at the camera. It's a 13 megapixel rear camera, LED flash, and there is a 5 megapixel front facing camera on this device. So let's open the camera interface and see the features offered. So looking at the camera interface, you can see that it is typical ASUS interface with a lot of additional modes included. So you can see HDR mode, Pro mode, Beautify mode, low light mode, QR code, FX, time lapse, and a lot of features are included. There is also HDR Pro mode and a super resolution mode included. So it's a quite good interface in terms of the features being offered. But there is no manual mode included in this phone. That's kind of strange because ASUS has manual mode in most of their smartphones. So this is a budget offering. So that might be the reason they have skipped on the manual mode. Now going into the settings of this camera, you can see 13 megapixel at 4:3 aspect ratio. Now going to the video recording option, it can see it is a full HD video recording. That's the maximum allowed, and there is also video preferences, performance or quality is also included, and again some other options are also included. Now this phone comes with a Snapdragon 400 chipset. That's a quite old chipset to be announced in 2017. That's one of the major disappointing aspects with this device. Now looking at the front facing camera, so let's have a look at the selfie camera. So this is the selfie camera, and you could see a lot of additional modes are also included here. Auto mode, night mode, and beautification modes are also included in this camera. So now let's have a look at the samples taken with this device. So first up, let's have a look at the rear camera samples. So here are the rear camera samples taken with the ASUS Zenfone Live, and you could see that the contrast of the photos taken in daylight condition was kind of high. It was more towards darker side, higher contrast, and the clarity of the photos was kind of average, not really that great. Colors were slightly on the saturated levels. That's typical of most of the ASUS cameras. So the color quality was kind of okay, but the contrast was slightly on the higher side. One thing we noticed in the close-up images taken in daylight conditions was there was kind of bluish tint or slightly violet tint added to the photos. That was the case even in previous older ASUS Zenphones, the budget offerings. So that happens even in this camera as well. It doesn't happen all the time, but in a lot of photos we saw this bluish tint added to the photos, which didn't give a really great experience in the daylight conditions. So in terms of the daylight performance, we would say the camera was kind of very much average, and for a price of 10,000, this is not a great camera. That's what we feel. Now looking at the low light samples taken with this device, again the camera performance was kind of very much average. The 13 megapixel shooter did have a lot of noise in low light conditions, and for a phone priced in 10,000 price segment, we would have expected ASUS to ship a better camera on this device. At least the performance could have been slightly better even with a 13 megapixel camera. So overall, the daylight conditions, the rear camera performance was kind of very much average and not really the great in this price segment. So the disappointing aspect is definitely the rear camera performance. So we wouldn't recommend this device if you're looking for great camera. So if you're looking for best camera performance in the sub 10K price point, this is just an average performer. That's what we feel about the ASUS Zenfone Live. Now looking at the front facing camera taken, front facing samples taken with this device, you could see that they come quite well in terms of the camera quality. There is also Beautify mode for the front facing camera, and looks quite decent for a phone in this price segment. Again, not a class leading camera, but then it won't disappoint most of the users if you're looking for some social shares with the selfies. So we are recording this video using the front facing camera, that's 5 megapixel camera on the ASUS Zenfone Live, and you can see there is a lot of background noise as well, and the maximum resolution supported on the front facing camera is 720p. There is no full HD video recording. There is maximum supported is just 720p, unlike the rear camera which has 1080p recording. So you can see the camera quality for yourself. Now we have just taken this camera outside, and you could see a lot of color changes happening. The tones are getting changed when you go outside and when you go into. So you can rate the quality of the video yourself by seeing this video. So that's the front-facing selfie camera of this device. And now one of the important aspects about this phone is the Beautify mode. That's a Beauty Live app available on this device. So you can see this is the Beauty Live app, and once you're taken the Beauty Live app, you can actually stream the camera to YouTube, Facebook or Instagram. That's a live streaming app included. So that's the Beautify mode. You can see that you can set the level of beautification as well. So that's the camera app, and this can be used for live streaming, and it automatically adds a Beautify mode to the live stream. So that's the important aspect about this device, and probably the USP of this camera. Now there is also a LED flash in the front facing camera, which helps you to take some decent selfies in low light conditions as well. So now looking at the video recording of this phone, again the kind of average performer. There is full HD, that is 1080p recording available with the rear camera, and the rear camera sample video recording sample was kind of very much average, not really a great sample in this price segment. So overall we would say that the ASUS Zenfone Live camera was not that great. It is not a class leading performer, it's just an average performer in terms of the daylight conditions and low light conditions. And since it's a phone priced below 10,000, we would say there are much better options in this price segment, like the Redmi 4 or the Redmi Note 4 variant, which is priced below the 10,000. So that cameras are better than the ASUS Zenfone Live in terms of the overall performance. So that was the detailed camera review of the ASUS Zenfone Live. Hope you liked this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and also hit the red subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.